Salamu guy, the famous blue pill is now becoming a silent killer for many men. And because there's easy accessibility of it, because you normally buy it over the counter, and because of the collapse of the healthcare system and lack of also funds, a lot of men don't go for their health checkup. So nobody knows if you have any underlying health condition. So when you want to go and have a good time, or maybe, first of all, the men who are having some dysfunctional problems, the first things comes to their mind is the usage of the blue pill. And on the other hand, the young people are also they're also facing a lot of peer pressure. So they're also tending to use it. But at the end of the day, because you're buying it over the counter, so which means it's not a prescribed drug. So you're just diagnosing yourself, and instead of you going to have a good time, unajipata umeenda Sayuni direct, and now the family has to bear the burden of embarrassment. And if nothing is going to be done anytime soon, you're going to have an addiction of blue pill and a lot of death from the usage of blue pill. And also, of late, prominent people have died from the usage of the blue pill.
Over the last 5 years, health experts in the country have raised concern over the growing cases of abuse of sexual performance-enhancing drugs. The prescription-only pills intended for men suffering from erectile dysfunction are increasingly being used by healthy men seeking to prolong sexual performance and pleasure. Though not officially reported, several men have lost their lives in the process. In our special investigation tonight, we establish how a broken regulatory system has allowed rogue pharmacies and chemists to literally pop the blue pill. Here is Death Blues with Gatete Njoroge.
Just like that, we obtain our first 50 milligram blue pill. No prescription, no questions asked. We walk into the next chemist, same script. Here, we purchase a 100 milligram blue pill. The pattern is the same across most pharmacies in the area. No prior medical history is taken. No prescription is requested. No questions are asked. It all comes down to money and the customers asking.
Duka ya kwanza ndio hii hapa. Hakuniuliza any prescription, alinipa tu. Duka ya pili akaniuliza kitu, akanipa ndio hii. Hizi zote tumetumia kwa 500, nimebaki na 150 na ndio hii hapa. So moja hii ilikuwa 200, hii 100 na hii 50.
So zote 350.
These pills are clearly labeled from the packet cover right down to the drug itself. Different brands available in varying strengths, 25 milligrams, 50 milligrams, and 100 milligrams. It is a silent addiction steadily taking hold in towns and cities across the country.
Saa zingine tunaziita Proviva. Unaweza enda uambie nipe leo nataka nicheza vieta. Nipe. Ukiongea hivyo anakutolea hiyo. Kuziata imeandikwa hapo ama imechorwa hadi ndege iko hapo.
Anthony, not his real name, knows this reality all too well. For the past year, he has been using the drugs. Every week, he makes trips to the pharmacy to restock. With just 250 shillings, he walks away with 4 pills. That supply lasts him 2 weeks, he says, considering that a single pill remains active in the bloodstream for up to 3 days. Anthony says the blue pill has given him a new sense of confidence. He is now able to rise to the occasion, something he admits was a challenge when he first settled down.
Nilioa, nilikuja nikapata bibi kwa nyumba, naye ni kama alikuwa yeye akona nguvu sana kuniliko. Sasa ikabidi nitafute njia. Nilienda nikatafuta hii dawa ya kukunywa ya maji, lakini nikapata hainisaidii. Nikaenda nikatafuta kuna ingine nilipewa inaitwa mkombero, nayo haikunisaidia.
He later confided in a friend, only to discover that he too was searching for a quick fix. The idea of seeking help beyond traditional remedies soon took shape. Together, they walked into a chemist looking for answers. Without a doctor's prescription, they were offered a solution: blue pills or a syrup said to enhance performance. They chose the pills.
Hiyo siku kwa nyumba, at least bibi yangu alifurahia, na mimi pia nikaona iko vizuri. Nikakuwa hivyo, sasa nimekuwa addicted kitu kama mwaka moja, kwa nilioa juzi.
The only advice he received from the sellers was when to take the pills, the dosage, and how long the drug stays in the bloodstream. No one warned him about the dangers of using the drug without a doctor's recommendation.
Na ukimeza, ujue huyu mgeni yako kama ni mgeni ulikuwa naye, akue karibu. Usimeze kama hamjaelewana anakuja.
Anthony attributes his dependency to a deep fear of inadequacy and embarrassment. He also claims there is growing sexual pressure and expectation from women.
Siku hizi unajua wanakula sana hao wasichana nini na nini. So unabidi msichana ako na nguvu na wewe hauna nguvu. So inabidi sasa uende uongeze nguvu ingine kutoka kwa kukunywa hiyo dawa.
With continued use comes the temptation to increase the dosage. For Anthony, that temptation nearly cost him his life.
Roho inakugonga sana. Na kugonga unasikia kama unapasuka. Saa zingine kichwa inaanza kukuuma. Nasikia unaumwa na kichwa serious. Hiyo kitu wakati umekunywa na huyu mtu mwenye anakunywa naitwa pangi nyasole. Mko pamoja. Mtu akikuangalia hivi anadhani umekunywa pangi.
It is this behavior that has put lives at risk. Reports indicate that over the past year, at least 5 people have died from sudden cardiac arrest or heart attacks. Toxicological tests confirmed traces of sexual enhancement drugs in the victim's bloodstream. This, however, represent only a fraction of the cases.
This is a prescription-only drug. The doctor must have seen you, evaluated you, seen whether you're a fit or not, whether this is the right drug for you or not, before they write a prescription down. So for the people who are selling this without prescription, shame on you.
Dr. Johansen Oduor, the chief government pathologist, in an article published in August in the Marketing Africa magazine, titled The Blue Pill, From Enhancement to Dependency, highlighted the widespread use of sexual enhancement drugs, which has resulted in severe side effects, including deaths. In his article, Dr. Oduor documents 2 fatal cases within Kilimani Estate. In the first case, a 70-year-old businessman with a history of systemic hypertension and type 2 diabetes collapsed outside an Airbnb just minutes before meeting his date. A condom and blue pills were found in his pocket, indicating that 2 pills had been used. In the second case, a prominent club and hotel owner in Kilimani was found dead in a hotel room where he had booked and invited 2 women. During the encounter, he suddenly complained of a severe headache, convulsed, and died minutes later. Toxicology analysis confirmed the presence of blue pills in his system. Dr. Oduor says the use of these drugs for performance enhancement is alarming and there is need for more awareness.
Before you use these drugs, it's important to understand what is your cardiovascular state. You having erectile dysfunction is a cardiovascular risk marker. It's telling you there is a problem going on because it's vessels that go there. You agree with me? Yes. It's just saying there's a problem with blood vessels and your cardiovascular system. So you need to check for the cause of the problem and not make yourself your own doctor and treat yourself without understanding what's causing your erectile dysfunction.
The Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya acknowledges that there are gaps in the dispensation of these drugs. The society, which is tasked with ensuring adherence to pharmacy regulations and the law, had issued warnings in 2021 over the use of blue pills.
We have the pharmacist, who would say the daktari, and then now we have a diploma holder who is a technologist. Most of our pharmacies, about 90% of our pharmacies have the technologists. So it is not to put blame, but to say that ideally you should not just buy it just because you asked for it. There should be a questionnaire. You should be asked a few questions.
Dr. Wairimu says the information should be shared with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board for necessary steps to be taken to protect members of the public.
Once you're able to share the information, the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya works very closely with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, where now we are able to look at the problem in a holistic manner and say, by the way, this is where the problem is, and then now this is how we resolve the problem. Yeah. Because number one, we'd want to check, are you buying them from registered pharmacies?
If you use it and you have chest pain and you're profusely sweating, what you should do is call your doctor and find a hospital immediately and go and get an ECG done and get the help that you need, because it means the heart is complaining. So having that contact with your doctor, and that's why it's good to have a relationship with your cardiologist.
Mild side effects of these drugs include headaches, nosebleeds, discomfort, upper abdominal pain, skin redness, diarrhea, and dizziness. Severe side effects can be life-threatening, such as low blood pressure, vision loss, priapism, cardiac arrest, and death. With such dangers looming, health experts are calling for stricter action against those who dispense these drugs over the counter without following the rules.